So I'll try and keep this short and sweet. This is still a work in progress. I do have three other characters that are at level 30 that I am trying to craft for at the moment, so I don't really have the time and resources to nitpick about little things that are wrong with this character at the moment. I need to get four characters ready for incursion next week. But the general gist of it is that this bad boy here is my bread and butter. Destructive and self-preserve. That's the most important part of it. A lot of critical hit damage and critical hit chance increases on there. And all up, she runs at 47% critical hit chance, which I would like to get a little bit higher. We'll get there eventually. And 146% critical hit damage. They're the important ones. I try to keep headshot damage to a minimum or none at all, because it just inflates your DPS theoretically, and it's just ridiculous. There are a few things that I still want to get on my character. Another important factor is the health on kill, which I'd like to get a little bit higher, maybe 35%. But if you look through the gear, the most important things are clearly things to do with pulse duration, critical hit chance, critical hit damage. So we've got, I've gotten pretty lucky on most of my parts. We have got pulse duration there. We've got some more pulse critical hit damage there. We've got this guy here, which I would really like to get rid of the smart covered damage resilience, but I've re-rolled the 97% bleed resistance probably about 5 or 6 times trying to get some damage against elites, which it does not want to give me. It just keeps giving me bleed resistance, but it's got a nice little bit of critical hit damage again. We've got more pulse critical hit damage on the holster. We've got critical hit damage and chance on there, which I believe I re-rolled the critical hit damage onto there, so I can't get rid of the ballistic shield damage until I get a better piece. I've also got a nice bit of skill power, pulse critical hit damage, which I rolled onto it, and the 3% that was existing. A bunch of really good mods on there. I would like a couple more mod slots. As I said, it's not exactly complete just yet, but it works quite well. The main thing to take into account is the destructive and the critical hit heals that are on the MP5, which runs 62 rounds in the mag, and on its own gets itself quite a lot of critical hits the whole way through. I generally don't use my booster shot unless I have to. I try to save it, but at a close distance, all them criticals are quite disgusting. Popping the booster shot gives it a bit of a boost as well. The two of them together are just disgusting. It is a low DPS build. I do have a lot of firearms, but still it is a little bit low on the DPS. I'm probably actually going to drop the firearms a little bit once I manage to roll a chest piece that has the 12.5% damage increase and 10% incoming damage increase, which is clearly broken at the moment and actually gives you a 10% reduction instead of a increase. So there's a little tip. It's a lovely little piece of armor to get your hands on, and I would actually like to try and replace this with one that has the talent that adds 12.5% of stamina and firearms to your skill power, which would not really make it too much stronger. It'll just make my scan a lot better. It'll make my booster shot a lot better, and it'll keep me alive a little bit more. Generally, I do normally run up with about 45,000 health and a lot more DPS. But going into the dark zone a lot farming lately, I find it's a lot better to have a higher health pool to try to refill, because I do solo the 32 area quite a lot. But that's pretty much it. That's the bread and butter of this. So I'll show you what it's like. Okay, so to give you a general idea of just how this build works, I would have much preferred that it wasn't snowing while trying to show you this, but let's see what we can do against these big boys. So we'll just aggro him up a bit and try to pull this heavy off on his own a little bit and not get stuck in that fire. These guys are a pest. And it's also a pest when you can't see him. Is that a little bit of a boom? Okay, so this gun on its own is absolutely brilliant. If you do not have an MP5, I strongly recommend that you get around to getting yourself a blueprint if you can. They are quite expensive to build. They do cost 3 division tech, but they are worth it. They're much better than the Vector. More rounds, more to play with. And as you can see, even just a few hits without scan pulse on and getting yourself back up to full health. Pop a booster shot just to make sure. Would have actually got my health on kill for that kill, but it's worthwhile just making sure you do not die while in the Dark Zone solo. Let's just pick on someone that's on their own. There's that health on kill again, which really helps. And as long as you play smart, you can solo a lot of stuff using this build. It does help out quite a lot. I did actually just recently post a solo Lincoln Tunnel video, it's quite a long video. I understand if you don't want to sit through that, but it does just go to show that you can solo a lot of things in this game just because of this critical heal build, which is clearly strong. That guy does not like me whatsoever. Once again, booster shot. I cannot recommend booster shot enough. It is just ridiculously powerful. So there you go.